Child. In my room, whatever magazine and whatever ad of a car that I could get my hand on, I used to cut it out and stick it on my wall. So I was always absolutely in awe, of great-looking cars, of great-sounding cars. So for me, when I first started being able to make some money, I must tell you about 𝗙𝗪𝗀 𝗀𝗃, for example. Although that car is only there on the trip to Goa and back, right? Everyone associates that film so much with that road trip because of the sense of freedom that that car provides to the three characters in that film. And that represents them, that they're free-spirited characters, and the car kind of encapsulated that. But at that point, I must tell you honestly, I couldn't afford that car. It was just a car that we could get in to shoot for the film and then had to very tearfully send it back. But I always had this desire to buy a Mercedes because I felt to me that that was the epitome of engineering, the epitome of sophistication, and the epitome of cool. All three combined. Yeah. So the minute I could afford it, I bought a Mercedes. I still have a GLS. I drive around in that. It's absolutely fantastic. So I've always been into it. My daughters and my wife keep asking me what it is about cars, and I say, I can't explain it to you. Just born with it in your DNA. So that's really what it is.
I mean, for me, a Merc is something I would use for a character that's very elegant. I would use for a character that's chic. I would use for a character that comes from, that is not flashy or gauche or nouveau. It spells class to me, Merc. So I would use it, I would cast it in that way. And I would also like to come to my set in one. That's how it would fit into my movie.
But can I ask you, Santosh, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
We've been speaking about the youth. You've asked us questions, but I would like to ask you, because there's no doubt in any of our minds and all the people here, that there is an intrinsic desirability that the youth has, for the Mercedes. Looking at it from the other side, from the company side, can you maybe share with us, or Zoya and me at least, what is it that you think about this brand that creates such a strong aspiration for the youth?
I think that's a great question, and for me personally, I visit this museum. We have a Mercedes-Benz museum in Stuttgart where we tell the stories. But this brand decided on a different path. We invented the car and we are inventing it again. But when we invented the car, the founding forefathers said that we will not go into making more and more cars. There are American companies who made more cars. But we said we will make the cars better each day. So that spirit of innovation, spirit of changing, and also the timeless design. So many of these cars now that we have put up here, you can find some threads on the design which is consistent. And that's something what makes the car desirable. The brand itself also has a lot of stories. We had this aspiration. I mentioned about Janis Joplin's song to featuring in movies. Even today, if I look at there are certain games with Gran Turismo 5, for example, has Mercedes-Benz car. So as a child, when you are there, you are growing up to those gaming consoles. You want those cars, be it in a Justice League, for example. You slowly build affinity and aspiration. And also, it's about the stories. A story as Sophie today morning when she came in here, she said, Santosh, Lance, I'm very happy. I said, why? And as she mentioned in her introduction, my dad bought me home in an SL. So, these stories is what makes the brand so desirable, and people have memories. And I think with every generation, we are able to create new stories, and I am sure these cars reflect, the changing trends as well. What do you think?
I mean, in terms of the Merc and pop culture, I think it's always been there. It is in, everyone has some Mercedes story. Either the first one they bought, or the one that they will buy when they can, or the one that they have pinned up. Everyone has a story. I think it's a part of it's iconic. It's a part of everyone's consciousness. If you're interested in cars, there's no way you're missing this one.